Bonjour, I am Morgan de la Cloche with the Clos de Tar estate in Moret-Saint-Denis in Burgundy. I've had the opportunity to be part of Great Domains and initiate the project of La Paulée de Johannesbourg that was back in 2014. These are still great memories for me. I am very sad I cannot join you this year, but I am sure you will have a great moment and some fantastic bottles to share. I hope we will see each other very soon in Burgundy or South Africa, and I wish you a lekker Paulée.
Good morning, South Africa. So, what is a Paulée? Well, in the old days, and still going on today, the Paulée was a big dinner, a big event at the end of the harvest, where the boss, the owner, would celebrate the end of the harvest and thank the pickers for the hard work they put in to get it done. So it's a big celebration, it's a big dinner, it's cooked by the owners themselves, and we serve our better wines, our best wines, to the entire team. It's a very nice tradition which we carry on here at Domaine Marquis d'Angerville in Volnay, and that most of our Burgundy friends also continue to have every year after the harvest. Of course, now this has turned into a much bigger thing. Back in the 30s, the village of Meursault started the concept of having a big Paulée after the famous Hospice de Beaune Vendée at the end of November. And people came into a big lunch, and they continue to do so. They bring their own bottles from their cellars, the best bottles they can find. And here they come and they share all those bottles with their neighbors at the table or at other tables around the room. It's held in a winery of Chateau de Meursault every year, and it's really a great event, very convivial. And of course now it's turned also into kind of an international event where there's a Paulée de New York, a Paulée de Los Angeles, Paulée de San Francisco, of course Paulée de Johannesburg and Cape Town. I went to one in Stockholm. So it's turned into a big event to celebrate Burgundy as a whole, as opposed to just celebrate the harvest or the end of the harvest. So it's great. It's good that you all celebrate Burgundy. We're grateful for that. And I hope you enjoy the event. Thank you and goodbye.
Bien, bonjour à tous, Frédéric Weber pour la maison Bouchard Père et Fils. Just a few words about the 19 vintage. 19 vintage is a huge vintage for Bourgogne, for the quality. It was a warm vintage, a very warm, mostly during the summer, with a high concentration, very high maturity, but also there is a lot of milrandage that permit to have a beautiful acidity and finally a huge balance. And for me, the 19 vintage, it's perhaps one of the greatest vintage for the red wine, very close to the 1990 or to the most famous 1949. And you will see for the red wine, you have the delicacy of the tannin, the expression of the terroir, a beautiful mouth with a lot of fruitiness, but on a silky tannin. And for the white, it's very warm, appealing, very aromatic, and with a beautiful citrus note and minerality in the finish. And I'm sure you will enjoy a lot the 19 vintage. To enjoy it now and for the future, because the aging potential will be great, especially for this vintage. And I know you will celebrate La Paulée. La Paulée, it's a very nice event. It's so important to celebrate La Bourgogne, the wine from Burgundy, and mostly to share passion, to share the wine with your friend, and for the fun and for the pleasure. And I would be to be with us, but I hope to you.
Hello to all of you. I'm Frederic Meunier. I'm very happy to join you virtually for this celebration. Must be the 20th anniversary of Great Domains. I remember when I first met Wayne and Venetia, where Great Domains was not much more than a refrigerated container in their garden. But I felt that their purpose was really to share the good wines they found in Burgundy with the good people they knew in South Africa. I like that spirit. Great Domains has grown a lot since then, but I know the spirit is still the same. And that spirit cannot be illustrated better than with La Paulée. La Paulée is the moment at the end of the harvest when all the people who have been working to get the vintage done, people who come from very different backgrounds, very different places, most of the time different countries, people who would have probably not met in ordinary life. They get together, they sit to have good food, good wine, a good chat, and to celebrate the joy of being together and the chance to be able to harvest the best of nature. I like the idea that the spirit of La Paulée can be shared globally with all the people who like good life and good friends. So enjoy it, have fun. Bye-bye.
C'est parti.
Hi everybody, so I am Pierre-Yves Collin in Chassagne-Montrachet from Pierre-Yves Collin Moret. We are in the cellar because it's a rainy day here. The season is growing really fast, one of the faster we have never seen. So a few words about 2019 vintage. In general, 2019 was a medium crop in terms of size. The particularity of the fruits was that they were really ripe with a quite high level of alcohol. All our wine are between 13.5 and 14.5, which is really unusual for us. But that was the point. That was the level of ripeness that was necessary for balance in this vintage. In general, we like to pick a little bit earlier, but the wine are showing a lot of deepness and a lot of freshness, so we are quite happy with the vintage. But don't forget that they have to be. You have to wait before to taste them. They are really built for a long aging. So I hope you will enjoy the Paulée and in Johannesburg, I heard, and hope you will have a great time. Bye bye, ciao.
Well, congratulations, you guys. It's Paulée time in South Africa with the Great Domains. You guys are a great outfit. It's a pleasure to work with you. This is Brian Seavey from Domaine de Monty. We're based out of Paulée. Speaking a little bit about the tradition of the Paulée and how important it is, I think it was maybe it was Jules Lafont in 1930s that started it. A tradition after harvest, bringing the people together, bringing the workers together, bringing the vignerons together. Everybody talking about their bounty of crop or not. The tradition has kept on. It's grown. Obviously, there's Paulées all over the world at this point in time. It was such a good idea that I think it caught on. It was very contagious. So it's a beautiful thing that you guys are doing that down there, and I love the fact that you're able to get some people to speak for the Paulée. As far as the 2019 vintage goes, for me, the 19 vintage I love the freshness and brightness of the wines. We had, it was a warm year for sure. It wasn't like 18 or 20, maybe even 22 as we say right now, because 22 is turning out to be another one. But we had a good consistent rainfall throughout the season. We had a little bit of mildew, oidium pressure, nothing crazy. But in the end, I think what happens is we have these wines that go back to having nice fresh acids, low alcohols. It was a warm year, but the wines came out very much in balance, both red and white, and they're going to be wines. I feel like if you're drinking them today at the Paulée, you're probably drinking older stuff too, obviously, but it's something where you're going to see a style of wine that's going to be very much food oriented, very very fresh and very bright and very pleasurable from the Côte de Beaune as well as the Côte de Nuit. So enough chit chat. Enjoy your party, and hopefully we're there next year. Bye bye.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sess from Domaine du Jacques. Hello to our friends from South Africa and everyone at Great Domaines. I'm here to say a quick few words about the Paulée. The Paulée is typically and traditionally the end of harvest party, which is a moment of sharing and celebration, and by extension, it's become just an opportunity to celebrate Burgundy and to open a few special wines and share them with like-minded wine lovers. So I hope that you really get into the spirit of it and really enjoy celebrating that in South Africa this weekend. A few quick words about the 2019 harvest. It was a lovely vintage, warm and dry, and vineyards like dry weather more than they like very wet weather, but it didn't have any extremes, and so it generated wines that are both generous but have nice precision and the freshness in which Pinot Noir thrives in Burgundy. I think they're really lovely wines in their youth. They're very, very attractive and compelling at a young age, but I think they also make some fabulous old wines and special things for lovers of Burgundy to have in their cellars.